this is a political party that thinks gender is just a state of mind, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, we have trouble with moderate biological males. I mean, who is surprised about this?
Yeah,
I think Democratic Party elites like Obama and like others have been viciously attacking Donald Trump since 2016. And everything they've said about him is what they have always said about him. And I don't think it's particularly effective right now. I think their problem isn't attacking Trump. Their problem is finding reasons to give people to support Kamala Harris. This stop he made in this plea he's making to African-American men. I mean, he said today he insulted them. I mean, he, first of all, admits that they're not enthusiastic about her. He said, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and reasons for that. And I think one thing we've seen about Democrats over the years is that when they can't convince you to do something, they begin to insult you. Obama specifically, when he was having trouble with rural voters in Pennsylvania, go back all the way into his campaigns, he insulted them about their culture and values. I don't think it's helpful to insult a group of people who are already not enthusiastic about your campaign, but I think that's what he did today. The story tonight is they're struggling with men, Obama's insulting men, and they're out saying, well, let's fix it by sending Tim Walz out and hiring Mitt Romney. It's crazy to me.
I'm sorry, this is not a campaign strategy to name Mitt Romney the Secretary of State.
Are you agreeing?
I don't
This is a suggestion in a report.
Exactly. I don't think we should force any candidate to name who their cabinet is prior to even winning. I think they should be out there talking to voters.
I totally agree with that.
See?
Wow.
Complete agreement
Scott
with
Jennings, Ashley Allison agreeing.
The Kamala Harris campaign and the Democrats are getting desperate. So desperate that they have now resorted to trotting out Obama on the campaign trail. And he's doing events and speeches all over the place, trying to sway minority voters, and more specifically, black men. He's trying to sway them into voting for Kamala Harris, because it turns out that Kamala Harris is not really popular amongst black men. And it turns out that she's not really popular amongst other minority groups as well. In fact, Trump is the most popular Republican president amongst minorities since the 1960s. That's what the polls are showing right now. And that's why the Democratic Party is getting so desperate. That's why now you're seeing a little bit more of Obama than you even are of Kamala Harris. But you see, the Democrats don't realize that it's not 2009 anymore. A lot of the people who voted for Obama, a lot of the people who once supported Obama, they have now woken up to the fact that he is just a part of the machine. A lot of people thought that because of his skin color, because of how he looked, that he wasn't part of the machine, but quickly he showed his true colors. So he doesn't have the support that he once did. He's not as popular as he once was, even amongst the African American community. So what happened is they trotted him out, and immediately he started insulting black men. Basically saying, oh, you must hate women, you must be a misogynist. That's why you don't want to vote for Kamala. And he's telling them, Kamala's one of us. Kamala's one of us. But when people look at Kamala, more specifically, when the African American community looks at Kamala, a lot of them don't accept her as one of them. And those are their words, not mine. You can go see the conversations happening online. You could go talk to someone in real life and have the conversation with them. Okay? These conversations are being had. And that's why the Democrats are panicking. But they couldn't help but be insulting as they try to sway these votes. And now they got people like Joy Reid on the mainstream media starting to call black men fascists. She's starting to call black and brown men fascist on live television, all because some of them don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. So now, it's reached a new level. And I don't think this is going to go over well. This is not how you win over voters. But this is what Democrats have been doing for so long. If you don't bow down and agree with them, if you don't go along with a lot of the crazy stuff they push, they accuse you of being this or that, and they place these labels on you. So in many ways, minority groups are waking up to the fact that, hey, it's really the Democrats that have tried to place us in a box. And they're the ones that have tried to tell us what to think. And as soon as we step outside that box, as soon as we think for ourselves, we're no longer useful to them, and they treat us just like the fascist white guys that they're always attacking on the news. But let's go ahead and listen to Joy Reid. I want you to hear the words out of her mouth, not mine, and then I'll be right back with more.
Have you noticed how sharply the polls have shifted in Trump's favor over the last couple weeks? With these claims that Trump is surging with black and Latino voters and leading in every single swing state, according to secret internal polls, despite all the Hitler talk. Yes, this race will be far too close. Because unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among black and brown men, too. This happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically independent and seek positions of power.
You see that attitude and that mentality right there? And people like Joy Reid? This is why so many people are fleeing the Democratic Party. This is why Trump is so popular amongst minority voters. This is why Trump is so popular amongst black men. Because some people are getting tired of being told how to think. And when you have one group of people like the Democrats that like to pretend like they're holding, certain people on a pedestal or certain communities, like they're so caring about the African American community, but then a black man tells you he wants to vote for Trump, and just like that, oh, he's a fascist, he's this, he's that, and you just dispose of him. Because for some reason, the Democratic Party feels as if you have a certain skin tone, then you must all think the same way. And they made that clear when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. They made that very clear years ago. And that's something that has stuck in people's mind for a while. And over the last 4 years, they've been paying attention, they've been watching. And especially during this election cycle. It was like a seed that was planted when Joe Biden said that. And now that seed has blossomed into a full, vibrant plant that you can no longer deny the existence of. So people are seeing, oh, okay, so white people are allowed to vote for who they want to. No one places white people in a box to oh, you must vote this way or vote that way or you're disowned. But if you're black or if you're brown or if you're this or you're that, and you don't vote this way or you don't think this way, then automatically you're no longer accepted in this community. It's crazy. But like I said, the Democratic Party during this election, they are doing irreversible damage for the future of the Democratic Party. So we're going to see how this election plays out. We only got a couple of weeks left. But right now, things aren't going good for Kamala Harris. And I think, we're starting to see that even someone like Obama doesn't have the sway that he once had. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.